Hey there, Lysandra Everett here, the Home Biz Tax Lady. And with this video, I'm going to show you how to fill out a 1040X, which is a form you need to file an amendment. So first, the things you need. You need the latest version of the 1040X. You need the original return that you'd like to amend. You need the IRS mailing address for your state because that does vary. And you need about an hour of your time. So let's get to the form. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the 1040X, okay? And we're starting at the top, enter the calendar year that you want to amend, okay? So you can only do one at a time. So then we're going to put in your information here. Let me grab my keyboard so you can kind of see what this looks like. I can't type today. And then go to your last name, and then you put in your social. Oops. Okay, so you put in your social there. Now, if you are filing a joint return, if you filed a joint return, then you need to put your spouse's information here as well. Your current home address. It doesn't matter if when you file the return, if you lived somewhere differently, you put your current home address here, your phone number. Now, let's get to the filing status. You have to select a filing status even if you are not changing it. So you click one of those here. So we're going to be single for this, okay? And you have to answer the healthcare coverage. So let's get down to this because this is the part where where people get confused, okay? So first is this. Column A is all of the original amounts that were on your 1040, whichever form that you used, okay, whether it was the 1040A, 1040EZ, what have you. You find your adjusted gross income. So let's say that you are changing your adjusted gross income. You may have gotten an additional W-2 in the mail that is going to change your total income and which will in turn change your adjusted gross income. So let's say that you reported $60,000 on your original return and you received another $20,000 in income. Okay, so that's the change. The change is going to be the difference. So then the correct amount that should have been on your return let me click on that, may have been 80,000. Okay, so you've got to show the correct amount. So let's just say your itemized deductions changed. So let's say that your itemized deductions were $14,000 and that may have changed. So if you're going to show a decrease, you got to make sure to put the parentheses. Okay, so let's say that changed, $1,000, so that the correct amount would have been $13,000. Okay, so if you're increasing something, you just type the number in. If you're showing a decrease, then you may need to make sure to put the parentheses like this. Okay. Now, where it comes down to tax liability, because you are doing this on your own and you don't have a program, you may not know what this is. So you might actually have to seek out a tax professional or find a tax table, which that's a whole nother video within itself. But in the tax table, there's different breakdowns for your income to show you the amount of tax that you would be due, that you would be liable for, depending on what your income is. So you can Google a tax table. Now, here are again other changes. If you have changes here, you see how to show the original amount, whatever the net change is, increase or decrease, and show the correct amount. Okay. Now, when you get down here, this is where you may have to where if it increases your refund or it reduces your refund or increases your liability. So what does all that mean? Let's say that you got a refund and then this change decreases your refund amount that you should have actually gotten. Well, then you're going to have to pay money back. So let's say if you paid taxes and the information you received then reduced your liability, then the IRS owes you, okay? So it's important to get these numbers right. Now, I want to also talk about this part right here down on page 2 on the exemptions. Now, I've gotten a lot of, especially college students, that if you have filed your taxes and your parents are still claiming you as a dependent, then you may have to change this. And so what this is your number of exemptions. So your original amount of exemptions may have been 1, and then your net change might be -1, and then the correct amount would be 0. Okay, because if you are a college student, you cannot claim yourself, claim your exemption, and your parents claim you as well. Okay, so you have to, this is how you adjust that. Um, and so again, if you've got dependent children, so whatever you originally showed on your return, this is what column A is, what the net change is, and what the correct amount should be. And then when you get down here, if you're adding dependents or anything, list them all. Okay, list first name, last name, social security number, the relationship, and if you would qualify for the child tax credit. And then in part 3, you want to put the explanation. So for this one, you might say received W-2 after filing taxes. Or you might say something like can be claimed as a dependent on another return, changing exemption amount. Okay, and then you need to sign here. If you are filing joint, then your spouse needs to sign as well. If you have someone preparing this for you, then your tax preparer needs to sign it and fill out their information here. And then after that's done, you need to make a copy of this, a copy of the documentation, and then you need to mail the originals to the IRS, and then you keep a copy for yourself. Now, processing an amendment can take 6 to 8 weeks because it's done by paper. It requires human intervention. So the word of advice here is if by chance you are having to pay money back to the IRS, use this time in order to gather your funds together to pay it when they send you a letter. Okay, so that's it for me. Listen, if you want to know about more about me, more about what I do, especially in the home business arena, head on over to my website, www.homebiztaxlady.com, and I'll see you over there. I hope this helps you out. Make sure you subscribe so you can get more valuable information. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye-bye.